show on Televida. I am Elliot Reed. I like comedians who do good things in the community. It's kind of what I do. So whenever a comic does it, I always like to shout them out and kind of help promote things. Today, our comedian is very unique. We don't have many comedians who are math professors, veterans, or executive members of the Subway Rewards program. But today we do. And the more important thing is he's promoting a show called the Alzheimer's fundraiser/comedy show. I won't get the dates and information, but this very funny comedian I'm talking about on the last show, his name is David Scott. Before I introduce him to him, I want you to see a clip. This is David Scott.
The next comedian comes to us from Kansas City, Missouri. Please give it up for David G. Scott. Wow, thank you guys. Thanks for applauding until I get to the microphone. That's nice. Usually when I perform, it ends right in this neighborhood over here. So thank you. I know in some stadiums they have nosebleed seats, ones that are wearing black. You, madam, are in the nose hair seats.
David, thank you.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for asking me to be on your show.
Very funny stuff, Mr. Scott.
Oh,
Very
thank you.
funny.
Thank
so
you.
it's the Alzheimer's fundraiser slash comedy show.
Correct.
And where's that?
It's a Groundhog Day Theater in Gladstone.
Okay. Now you've done this a couple years, right?
Yes, several years. We had to take a 2-year break because of COVID.
COVID? What is this?
I don't know.
I'm not familiar.
I heard it disrupted some things. And so we took a 2-year break, but we're back.
We're back. And you actually have a lot of local comedians.
Yes,
here,
I have 2 you're familiar with, Dave Caius.
Yes.
And Mike Ciccone. Right.
2 other people who've been touched by Alzheimer's.
Exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
has Alzheimer's affected your life any?
Yes, my wife passed about 5 years ago from Alzheimer's, and I was her primary caregiver for a couple of years, and then she went to the nursing home. And it was after she went into the nursing home that I got involved with stand-up comedy.
How do you go from taking care of a loved one in a nursing home to stand-up comedy?
Well, I have always been silly.
Okay.
I know that's difficult to imagine.
Uh-huh.
But my son Robert started doing stand-up, and he said, Dad,
He said, I'm better than you.
Yeah, no, that's right. He said, I'm doing an open mic. Come on down. So I did, and I enjoyed it, and away we go.
I like the recklessness of it. I mean, there was no reason. So, do you mind me asking, how old were you when you started stand-up comedy?
About 68.
Bless your heart. That is unbelievable. Because I'm 60 now, and I feel like I don't want to do it anymore. And here you are, you have all this energy.
Well, to be honest, when I was teaching, I was a teacher, when I would tell jokes in the classroom. So it wasn't a stretch.
Well, first of all, our listeners should know you were a math professor.
Yes.
Math was my worst subject.
Well,
I don't know how. How is there even a math professor? I assume they've already added up all the numbers. What are you doing, right? I mean, how are they still doing math research? Well, what are they adding up at this point?
What are they doing? The most valuable class I taught was statistics, because at the college level, if they're going to go on for a master's degree, it always involves research, and they have to use statistics to prove their point.
Okay. Use the statistics to help in comedy?
No.
Is there an 80% chance this joke's going to bomb?
No, it has there's no correlation whatsoever.
So tell me about it, because math was my worst subject, by the way. And I actually got so bad in math, I'd be taking a math exam and I would just give up and I would just write kind of a confession, like a jailhouse confession. I'm not good at this. I flunked. Please help me.
Please,
you know.
Mercy.
One math test, I got a 1. This is a true story. I got a 1
out of
100. A 1. I just got a 1. And
for putting your name at the top.
Exactly. And then my math teacher, this was always so fun. She knew I wasn't passing this class, and she knew I was a comedian, so she'd write encouragement, right? This is a D. Good luck on your comedy show tonight at the open mic. Clearly, this math stuff isn't going to be working for you.
Right. Well, here's the deal. When I was teaching, I would encounter students who weren't good at math, were scared of math. And I proposed that instead of numbers, we use Roman numerals. Well, come on, if you don't like numbers, there's some happy little letters. Never caught on.
So the last time we did a comedy show together, this is what I admire about you. We were doing a show, and some shows are just they're not fun shows. It's not always a great audience and everything like that. And you had to go up first, hardest job in the world on a one-nighter, going up first. and you just went into the den of lions just fighting it. I was just shocked. It's like, oh my gosh.
I tell you what's helped me prepare for real audiences is working in nursing homes.
You work in nursing homes?
Yeah, I do comedy in nursing homes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've done over 50 of them in the Kansas City area. And that's a great testing ground to see if you can do comedy no matter what.
Oh my God. So these guys are in wheelchairs?
Oh yeah.
Wheelchairs
Oh yeah. One time a fight broke out because a lady
at a nursing home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the F-bombs were dropped.
Bingo cards were flailing. What kind of jokes go over in a nursing home anyway?
Oh, not many. Almost none, which is why it's such a good proving ground. Because I did a show for a real audience on like a Tuesday evening, and Wednesday morning I was at a nursing home, and I would tell a joke and get nothing. I'd say, well, these were funny last night. I don't know what happened.
Well, first of all, and I'm not going to blame it all on the nursing home, but there's a time and place, and it's hard to tell jokes in the day. I used to do like nooners at college, and then people, they don't like to laugh as much as but nursing homes, that's a whole another thing.
It's tough. It's tough. One lady afterwards said, I really enjoyed your show, but I can't clap very loud. I said, oh, bless your heart.
Let me ask this. Is it appropriate after doing a show at a nursing home to come home and say I killed?
Funny you should ask. During one performance, an ambulance pulled up. The two guys got off with a gurney, went around the back of the audience on the elevator, and I'm still telling jokes. And I said, this is going to be interesting. And about 10 minutes later, here they come down the elevator with the body on the gurney.
Oh my God.
It was alive. It was
Okay.
had oxygen. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that would have been bad. And then just wheeled around the back of the audience. And I could see it. The audience couldn't see it, but I was watching these guys go across, wheeler outdoors, into the ambulance, away they went.
Well, that is something most comics never do in nursing homes.
I was telling my family, and one of my daughters said, "Oh, you killed." I said, "That's
Yes,
right."
I did. I
That's
almost
right.
killed. I almost got level 2 trauma. Maybe that's it.
That's as close as I can get to killing.
All right. Well, you are more faceted than I thought of. We're going to talk about, you've written some books.
Yes.
Actually, we're going to talk about this when you get it.
Great.
You've written some books. So we're going to be back. We're going to talk about David G. Scott's books on the last show on Televida when we get back.
I got your underwear right here, pal. You want to look old and young at the same time? Boom.
So this book is called The Wrong Way by David G. Scott. Tell me about The Wrong Way. What is this book about?
It's a book of cartoons, the wrong way to look at things. For example, the cover shows you the wrong way to watch a dart tournament. And they're all
So this is the theme, right?
Yes, they're all very similar.
All right. Oh, look at this. I know we can get in there. This is the wrong way to watch a boxing match.
That's right. It's just way too
Oh,
close.
so all these things are just the wrong perspective, right?
Yes, you're just way too close.
All right, I get you there. So how did you come up with this idea?
I just started doing cartoons. When I was a kid, there was a book.
Walt Disney, cartoonist?
No.
You might have heard of him.
No, it was just line drawings. There were 2 lines going up and down, and then 4 semicircles, and that was in the joke
You getting
book.
into math?
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
Please don't do
2,
that.
4 bumps on the side, and
Don't
2
do
lines going straight up and down, and that was a bear climbing a tree.
Oh, I see. It's all in
and
perspective.
I saw that was like, I don't know, 12 years old, and it just stuck. And then I started drawing them for my class. You know, they'd have a break and they'd come back and one of those.
So you try to work it into that boring ass math class.
That's
then,
exactly
okay?
what I did. That's exactly right.
Try to wake them up.
Keep them from nodding off. That's
Where
exactly
did you,
right.
by the way, where were you a professor at?
Well, primarily at Park University, but also I was adjunct faculty there and full
What does that mean?
part-time.
Adjunct?
It's,
Okay.
it's a fancy word for
Okay.
part-time. And I was
And
full
then if
time.
you have a clean house, you adjunct just to make it. We had an empty house when I
One-
bought it. My wife adjunct the house full of
That's
stuff.
right.
Anyway.
1-800 adjunct.
Yeah.
No.
So
And-
you actually made jokes during math class.
Oh,
to
yeah.
make people had.
Oh yeah.
What did you? I mean, were kids falling asleep in class? That
No,
was
no,
my
they
thing.
loved it. They loved it.
They love math.
No, no, they loved the jokes. They were horrible jokes. Horrible jokes.
But anything.
Oh,
in a
yeah.
math-
Like my cousin is an apathetic gardener. He plants vegetables, but he doesn't care at all. That's the caliber of humor. In fact, when they get an answer wrong in a discussion, we'd have it. If they got it wrong, I would go tell a joke as punishment. And then I'd ask again. If they got it wrong again, I'd tell another joke.
So you were doing this all long before your son ever asked you
Oh
to tell
yeah,
jokes.
oh yeah. And then they got it wrong again. I'd start to move to tell another joke. And one time a student just yelled, "Just tell us."
Just tell us the
Just-
joke. You had hecklers. You're gonna Will Smith you.
That's right. They were heckling me.
So let me ask you this: you're a math professor. You have a PhD in math.
No, and masters,
Oh, okay.
masters in education.
Okay. You saw Good Will Hunting, right?
Yes.
All that math stuff.
Yes.
Did you ever do those long chalkboard things?
Yes.
And what's the point of that? Is there equals at the end? I saw this long thing in Good Will Hunting and all this squiggly letters, much like your book here. What's the point? It has to equal a number, right? No, explain this to me.
That's right.
How are there still math numbers out here? Don't all the numbers equal something? What are they researching in that?
Well, it depends on like in the statistics, you're trying to find a range of where it's valid. And
But we already know this. We already know something 90% and 80%. So what are you teaching people?
how to come up with that 80 or 90%.
That's what their computer does. Why do they need to know it?
Thank you. I show them how to work the computer to get the answers. And I was one of the few professors that actually used Excel spreadsheets to get to the answer. Others were like, look it up in the book. I'm like, what? No.
They're not going to ever use the book.
Thank
You
you.
need to teach them for real world stuff
Yes.
and what they actually do.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Are you going to show them the other book? by the way?
I have another book here. There's a 80% probability I will show this book. Get out your spreadsheet and we'll see if we see it. No, I'm
That's it.
kidding. We have one other book here. It's called this one's good here. It is Clothes for Repairs with Plumbing Problems.
That's right.
And we're going to put the link to your website and your books and
Thank
everything.
you.
You can buy this on Amazon or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually the punchline to one of the jokes in the book.
the punchline.
Yeah, Clothes for Repairs with Plumbing Problems.
Is this why? I mean, because I think our listeners know that the thing that's unusual. You have the underwear on the
On
outside.
the
of your
outside.
body. Is that something typical that you do, or
Every show. I try-
every show you put the underwear on the outside
every
at nursing homes?
At nursing homes, they love it.
Okay. So why do you put the underwear on the outside here? Are we giving up the punchline?
You are again stealing.
I'm stealing the punchline. We have to know though, or we can I can set you up here, and then we can get around
All right,
to it.
all
We can
right.
set you up. So
The kids these days are always showing
tell
us.
me about kids these days.
They're always showing us their underwear, by golly. and nobody wants to see an old man's underwear.
No, nobody does.
And then I say, "Oh, you do?" And then I put on the underwear.
Oh my god! That's kids do that. It's called slabbing.
Is
I
that what
guess.
it's called?
I guess where the pants are just barely hanging off the body. So let me ask you this: are these fit the size, or did you have to go a size?
I had to
larger?
go extra large,
Oh.
and then I actually had to expand. I had to cut out the legs, the openings for the legs,
Why?
because they weren't big enough to fit over my pants. I would pull them on, and the pants would come up, pant legs would come up with the underpants. I said, "This isn't going to work."
Is it possible to get the camel toe when you're wearing the underwear on outside of the body?
No, see, that's another
I
thing.
just was curious.
We
I
have
had to ask.
You have to be very careful though, because
Because
that,
what?
that could be, it could be bad.
It could- So all right.
It's actually
so
a-
this
a-
clearly when you put the underwear on the outside, that's the end of the show, right?
Yes, that's my
I mean,
closing.
you're not just telling jokes for another 10 minutes.
No,
You're putting them on the outside
that's
of
like when I get off.
the- All right.
When you see the underwear come out, you're thinking, "Oh my God, thank you. We're out. This is about over."
Do you have like a certain pair of show underwear? Or do you just
Yes,
have like a
I have a
tearaway?
gamer. Yes, And then I have a backup pair in case something bad happens.
Gamer. My show underwear, right? You
That's I
iron
got
them and
show
everything
underwear.
like that.
Then I have a backup in case
You
something
back-
happens.
You carry with them in the show, right? So you always carry 2 pair of underwear.
Because you
This-
never
with
know.
The third is the one you're wearing, right? So you always
That's
there's always 3 pairs
Well,
of underwear at every show.
One can assume. Yes.
So, needless to say, these underwear will be at the show,
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
and all the benefits go to what? And
The
also-
Alzheimer's Association, and I'm actually on the. If you get into the Alzheimer's website and you can search for David G. Scott, you might find me. Maybe.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The alz.org, Alzheimer's.organization.
All right. Well, I mean, but you reference this in the book there, and it's great that you've done 3 shows. So tell me about. We talked about comedy and everything like that. Tell me who are some of your comedy influences are.
Oh, yeah. Bob Newhart.
Oh, he was great.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Button Up Mind, because you actually
Button Up
remember
Mind.
him. You actually, because of your age, remember Bob Newhart in real time when they had one album,
Right.
And you bought that album and you played that Bob
Over
Newhart.
and over.
Yeah.
That's great.
Button Down Mind was
That's
the
it.
one I
That's
liked.
very good.
So it's Bob Newhart. Who else?
Oh, Jonathan Winters.
okay.
First. And then more recently, Stephen Wright.
Oh my gosh.
Whose brain is just a marvel to me.
No.
How here's one of my favorite
Let's hear it.
Stephen Wright jokes. He said I went to the 24-hour store to get something. Guy was locking up. He said I thought it was open 24 hours. Guy says not in a row.
I love that joke by him. So these are your influences when you
Yes.
got that. Are there any Kansas City comedians that have been particularly helpful to you in
Yes.
Kansas City? that you started?
Will
Will see.
Will Clifton.
He was on one of my first shows.
Great.
That's right. We
Good.
did the Veterans of Comedy.
Wonderful man. Wonderful
Will
man.
see and Taifu Panda on one of my first
Oh
shows.
yes, they're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And Rod Reyes took me on.
Rod Reyes was our first guest.
Really?
That's right.
He dragged me along on a couple of his
It's
shows.
amazing that I've gotten so far to you. It's like I like those other people
Well,
more, and I've
it's
settled for
great.
you. I've already had Rod
The
Reyes.
bottom
so
of the barrel.
I'm working my way down like the Terminator. I'm
That's-
working my way down.
that's right.
And,
You're hitting all the
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. We got Rod Reyes, we got Will C, now we got David Scott. All right, so, and he didn't even wear his gamer underwear. So good for the guy. So those guys helped you get started.
Oh
right?
yeah, they were very, very helpful.
When's the first time we worked together?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Was it that crappy gig?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I just want to. Do I have a good reputation amongst the other comedians?
Oh,
They,
kidding me? Yes.
they say nice things.
Well, they say who? No, they say nice things
Oh,
about you.
that is sweet.
For example, never been indicted.
Never been indicted.
That's come
true.
up a couple
That's
of
true.
times. That's stuff.
No, yeah, never been. Did we know of? Did we know of? I might have been indicted. So, this show, we're going to try to put this show on before. Tell us about the date of the show one more time.
The Alzheimer's fundraiser, June 21, Groundhog Day Theater,
Now, where's the Groundhog Day Theater? We need
Gladstone. It's
It's in Gladstone,
North Oak,
North Oak.
and it's right.
How much are tickets?
They're free. It's free, and then but you have to pay to get out. So it's a different concept in fundraising.
So you have to pay to get out of the show.
That's correct. Yes, for anybody can walk in, but you have to pay to exit.
And there's always 3 comedians on the show?
Well, and historically there's been more than that, but these were the 2 I chose because they've been affected by Alzheimer's.
Uh-huh. Oh, because of Dave Kais' mother,
Right?
and because of Mike Sacconi's wife,
Yes.
and your wife.
Yes.
All right. The fact that some of those comedians like Dave Kais aren't very funny is just, I'm kidding. One of my best friends, he's very funny.
That's beside the point.
It's beside the point. So we're going well, then that we're going to promote, Mr. Scott. Is there
Yes.
anything else you have coming up? that
Yes.
you want to talk about?
This year, for the first time, I'm going to be in the Kansas City Fringe Festival.
Really?
Yes, which is coming up late July. I think I'm performing 5 times in 8 days.
The Kansas City Fringe Festival.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, you might get like that Tony Bennett thing where you're kind of an older comedian and you suddenly become hip to all the young kids.
Funny you should mention it. The name of my show for the Fringe Festival is Oldest Living Comedian in Kansas City.
This is, how old are you, mind asking?
74.
You are the oldest living comedian.
Yeah,
in
I'm
Kansas
just
City.
barely older than Rod Reyes.
Rod's in his 70s?
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't look
He
it.
doesn't look it.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't crack. You on the other hand. Yeah, you look every bit of
Oh,
it.
white bread
Every
sitting
bit,
over
yeah,
here.
that
It's
might
not a
sit-
pretty picture. Not a pretty picture.
but that is a good year. So it's the kid. So we've got the shows coming up for you are Groundhog Theater,
Right, June 21.
June 21, and that is the Alzheimer's fundraiser / comedy show.
Correct.
And then after that we have
The Fringe Festival.
The Fringe Festival, 5 shows.
In 8 days
The oldest living comedian
in Kansas City.
in Kansas City.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Well, thank you for being on my.
If I make it.
If you make it, you'll make it.
I won't be the oldest dead comedian
Yeah.
in Kansas
Anyway.
City.
Well, David G. Scott, thank you.
Oh,
for being on the
man,
last
this
show.
has been a delight.
That's
Thank
right.
you so
Be
much.
sure to go to that fundraiser. This has been the last show on Televida. Hold on, before we go, I have to say thank you, Guillermo, patron saint of bilingual talk show hosts. We'll see you next week.